Good morning, children. Are you fine? Okay, thank you. Now, we start the lesson from the civics part. Already started that lesson, that is forms of government, unit 4. The forms of government, we have seen the different forms of government, that is unitary form, federal form, parliamentary form, and presidential form of government. These are the four type forms of government. And we have seen the types of constitution, that is written, unwritten constitution, federal, unitary, flexible and rigid constitution. Like these types of constitution we have seen. And also we have seen the unitary form of government. In the unitary form of government, unitary means central, only one government, that is at the center. That is a strong government. That merits and demerits also we have seen about the unitary form of government. The unitary form of government is possible only the smaller countries. Here mentioned some of the examples of the countries. England, France, Japan, Sri Lanka are the examples for the unitary form of government. All these countries we can find only one government, strong central government. No other government in these countries. So it is called unitary form of government. Also we have seen about the constitution, unitary features of the Indian constitution. Our constitution is the lengthiest constitution, written constitution, and it has unitary features and also federal features. Also it has, our constitution has the unitary features as well as the federal features, and it is rigid and flexible also. That we have seen. Now we are going to see about the federal form of government. That is page number 267. It is given about federal form of government. Government classified into unitary and federal based on the nature of the relation between national and the regional government. The federal features of the government, we can see national and regional governments, two governments. In a country we can see the two governments. Our country also, there are the two governments, national level, that is central government, state level, state governments also there, but not mentioned it is a federal form of government. It is not a federal form of government. It is a quasi-federal. It is a quasi-federal. So it is not meant given as an example of federal government also. Our country is not given as an example of a federal form of government. Okay, we will see. The federal government is on which power are divided into between the national and the regional. National level and regional level, the powers are divided. The government power is divided. The government has three powers, namely legislative power, executive power, and judiciary power. This is also, we can say, the organs of the government, that is legislative, executive, and judiciary. The federal form of government, the power is divided from the center to the state. Center to the state. Example, USA, Switzerland, Australia, Canada, Russia, Brazil, Argentina, the federal form of government. All these countries we can find the federal form of government. National government is known for federal government or the central government. Federal government or a national government. State government, regional government known as the state government or the provincial government. Like this, different names for the different names of the national government, that is national government, federal government or the central government. For regional government, state government, regional government or provincial government. These are all the different names given to the national and regional governments. merits of federal form of government. Some of the merits here mention some of the merits of the federal form of government. First one is reconciliation, local autonomy with national unity. Unity of local autonomy with the national unity. There will be a unity among the regional or local autonomy with the national unity. It is united. Region is united with the national unity. That is reconciliation of local autonomy with the national unity. Division of powers between center and state. There will be a division of powers. The power is divided. There is a division of power. So, for the efficient administration, the powers are divided among the state and the center. Gives rise to big states. The federal form of government gives rise to big states. Distribution of powers, check the despotism of central government. The power, the legislative power, executive power, judiciary powers are divided from the center to the state. This division of power check the despotism of the central government. More suitable for bigger countries. More suitable for bigger countries. It is more suitable for bigger countries. This federal form of government is more suitable for bigger countries. It is not suitable for smaller countries like Sri Lanka and all. It is more suitable for bigger countries like India also you can say. It is good for economic and cultural progress. For the progress of the cultural and economic growth, this federal form of government is better. The next one is about demerits of the federal form of government. There are some demerits. Also, we have seen the merits of the federal government. Now we are going to see about the demerits of the federal form of government. Federal form of government is weaker when we compare to the unitary form of government. Unitary form of government means very strong central, there will be a strong center. But the federal form of government means the power is divided. Power is divided to the state governments. Federal government is more expensive. The government must spend more. Even the state government also, it has to divide the economy. So it is expensive. Provincial tendencies are very common. Provinces, they will develop their own tendency. That is, provincial tendencies are very common. Then the lack of uniformity in administration among the states or region or provinces and the center, there will be no unity. There will be no unity in the administration. Threat to national unity. It is a threat to the national unity. There will be a disintegration. Provinces sometimes act independently. So there will be a lack of national unity. Distribution of powers between center and state led to the conflicts. When they distribute the power between the center and the state, there will be a conflict between the center and the states. Double citizenship, it led to the double citizenship. Normally single citizenship, but here led to the double. Sometimes this federal form of government leads to the double citizenship. Rigid constitution cannot be made easily for changing needs. Rigid constitution. Mostly the federal form of government has the rigid form of constitution. This rigid form of constitution is not easily mended. Make changes, cannot be make changes easily in the rigid form of constitution. The state governments sometimes place hindrance in the foreign policy. So these are all the demerits. Merits and demerits you have seen. Now we are going to see about the federal features of Indian Constitution. Also, we have seen the unitary features of the constitution. More unitary features we have seen about the Indian constitution. Here mentioned some of the federal features also. Dual government. Federal features of Indian constitution: dual government, double government. That is center and the state, central government and state government. Written constitution. The federal features of the Indian constitution says the Constitution of India has unitary features as well as the federal features. More points we have seen about the unitary features of Indian Constitution. Some features given about the federal features of the Indian Constitution. Dual government. It says about the dual government, that is central government and the state government. Then written constitution. Indian constitution is a written constitution, lengthiest constitution. The constitution says about the division of powers. Some of the powers given to the central government, some of the powers given to the state government. There is a division of powers. Supremacy of the constitution. Indian constitution has written laws. The laws enacted by the center and the state must conform its provision. Rigid constitution. Indian constitution is a rigid constitution. Also flexible constitution. It can be makes slight changes whenever it is necessary. Independent judiciary. The Indian judiciary constitution mentioned, the Indian constitution says about the independent judiciary. It is a separate organ. It is a separate organ. Bicameralism. Indian central government, there is two houses of parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is the upper house, Rajya Sabha is the lower house. Lok Sabha members are elected members. Rajya Sabha members are not elected members, they are nominated members. Like this, bicameral. These are all the federal features of the Indian Constitution. Federal features of Indian Constitution. The next about the difference between unitary form of government and the federal form of government. First one is unitary form of government. Already we have seen about the unitary form of government. Only one level of government, that is strong central government, will be there. Mostly single citizenship. In the central unitary form of government, mostly only single citizenship. Subunits cannot be operate independently, no division of power. The unitary form of government, the power is not divided. The legislative power, executive power and judiciary power is not divided, all in one hand. Centralization of power, all the powers vested in one person, one government, that is centralization of power. Federal form of government, two levels of government, that is center and the state governments, and dual citizenship, double citizenship in the federal form of government. Federal units are answerable to central government. All the regional governments are answerable to the central government. Division of power. There will be a division of power, centralization of power. Division of power and centralization of power, these two powers in the federal form of government. Next one is parliamentary form of government. Four forms: unitary form, federal form, third one is parliamentary form, fourth one is presidential form of government. Now we are going to see about the third form, parliamentary form of government. Modern democratic governments are classified into parliamentary and presidential. Mostly nowadays, modern governments, most of the governments are parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government. The parliamentary form of government is one of which executive is responsible to legislature for its policies. The parliamentary government is also known as cabinet government or responsible government. Our government is an example of parliamentary form of government, also cabinet form of government, parliamentary form of government or cabinet form of government. The cabinet only run the administration. run the administration. Okay, we see some of the answers now. What I taught from this topic, now we mark some of the answers. First one, fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. First one, dash and dash are the few examples for unitary form of government. Unitary form of government. Examples of unitary form of government, that is England and France. England and France. England and France are the few examples of unitary form of government. Second one, parliamentary government is also known as cabinet government. Cabinet government, you can see the spelling from the book. The parliamentary government is also known as cabinet government. The parliamentary form of government, Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party. In the parliamentary form of government, Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party. Then fill in the blanks. Country, name of the parliament is given in the column. Country, USA. Name of the parliament is Congress. Country USA, name of the Parliament of USA is Congress. Norway, starting, name of the Parliament is starting. Denmark is the name of the country, the Parliament is Folketing. Then the distinguish between first one, unitary and federal forms of government. Unitary and federal forms of government, that is page number 268. Difference between unitary form and the federal form of government, the column it is given. Unitary form of government, already I said about that unitary form of government, that is one level of government, single citizenship, cannot operate independently, no division of power and centralization of power. All these come under the unitary form of government. The federal form of government, two levels of government, dual citizenship. Federal units are answerable to central government, division of power, decentralization of power. These are all you have to mark for that distinguish. The second one we'll see later. Then give short note on. Already we have marked unitary form of government. Already we have marked. Then answer the following. First one, list out the types of constitution. We marked. What are the merits of the federal government? Merits of federal government also we have marked. Third one, write down the differences between the unitary form of government and the federal form of government. Unitary form of government and the federal form of government. Already we marked for the first distinguish, the same answer to be marked for this question also. Same answer you have to mark for this question. Okay, now I will revise once that give short note on unitary form of government. Unitary form of government. That is page number 266. Unitary form of government. Unitary form of system of government. Sovereign state govern a single entity, single government, only one government, that is strong central government. The administrative divisions exercise only powers central government has delegated to them. Some of the countries follow the unitary form of government is England, France, Japan, Sri Lanka, examples of unitary form of government. Up to that you have marked that answer. Then the next one is answer the following. List out the types of constitution. That is page number 266. Types of constitution heading. That I told you to mark. Written constitution, unwritten constitution, federal or and unitary, flexible and rigid. All that you have to mark for that question. Then the next one is, what are the merits of the federal government? What are the merits of a federal government? Merits of the federal government. Page number 266, merits of federal government. What are the merits of federal government? This question answer now I am going to mark. That is page number 267, merits of federal form of government. Here it is given 6 points. That is answer the following. 2 more question. 2 more answer the following. That is second one. What are the merits of the federal government? That is page number 267 under the heading merits of federal form of government. 6 points are there. One is reconciliation of local autonomy with the national unity. Second one is division of power between center and state leads to administrative efficiency. Third one is it gives rise to big states. Fourth one, distribution of powers, check the despotism of central government, and more suitable for bigger countries, then it is good for economic and cultural progress. These are all the points you have to mark for that answer the following second question. Third one already we marked. Third one we have marked. Then answer in detail first question also we have completed. Write about the merits of unitary form of government. Answer in detail first one. Write about the merits of unitary form of government. Already we marked. That is page number 266. Merits of unitary form of government. What are the merits suitable for small countries? There is no conflict of authority and responsibility. A unitary government will make prompt decisions and take speedy actions. A unitary form government is less expensive. Amendments to the constitution are easy. There is uniformity of law, policy and administration. These are all the merits of the unitary form of government. So all these answers I have completed. Only remaining the distinguished second one and the answer in detail second one. That one we'll see later. I have to complete more topics, that is parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government. Just I said about that parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government, example, our country India is more democratic countries follow the parliamentary form of government. It is also it is known as cabinet government or responsible government or Westminster model of government, prevalent in Britain, Japan, Canada and India among others. Our country India also the parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government. Some of the countries' names and the name of the parliament also given: Israel, Knesset, then Germany, Bundestag, Denmark, Folketing, Norway, Storting, USA Congress, Japan, Diet, Britain Parliament. These are all the names of the parliament. Then features of parliamentary form of government. Features of parliamentary form of government. Importance of the parliamentary form of government. Nominal and real executive. Nominal executive is there, real executive is there in the present parliamentary form of government. Majority party rule. Which party get majority, that party rule will be there in the parliamentary form of government. The parliament has the collective responsibility. Collective responsibility. Then a dual membership. The parliamentary form of government, double citizenship. Leadership of the Prime Minister. The parliamentary form of government, Prime Minister is more powerful than the Minister. Even under the leadership of the Prime Minister only, the Parliament rule takes place. Merits of the parliamentary form of government we will see later. Now, what are the questions I marked? Learn all those questions. Thank you.